As you know, the major things doing OLIF is the corridor. This is my disclosure. We are talking about OLIF, which is not for me, is not the trademark term, because we have known that Mike Mayer have published a retroperitoneal approach, and Silvas and Prof. Rusli have already mentioned about the term of the OLIF, but they are calling the oblique lumbar interbody fusion. But the trademark would be oblique lateral, which has been published by Dr. Hines. So personally, I will use the OLIF as an approach term. As you know, there's several contraindications. Normally, no surgical corridor is the main thing. Why? Because you can see a major vascular injury if you approach it in the tight area. But the thing is, if you look at the literature, it said, if you look at a normal working corridor between the great vessels, majorly is the artery and the edge of the psoas muscle. We found that especially in 4-5 area, when they categorized that, looking at the MRI of the lumbar spine, they found that the female without corridor is 51.9%, and the male is 40%, which means that if we use this terminology of the corridor, you cannot do operation up to 50% of female patient in 4-5 levels. However, we know that, this is my publication, position of the patient can move the artery. Like in this prone posture, artery can move up when you're prone, and also up to 3 millimeter. And also this lateral, the mobility of the vessel is increased by 2.3 millimeter. And also, I have published the position of hip. When you extend the hip, you expand the corridor using the neutral hip position of the left hip. So it can jack up into 1.6 millimeter. That comes into wider corridor, and you eventually know that the muscles can be retracted as well. So normally, muscle can be retracted like 23 millimeter, which is 2.3 centimeters. So by looking that, all corridor can be widened. So we did a study looking back at our patients and categorize if there's any corridor or the corridor is 1 to 2 centimeter and more than 2 centimeter corridor, looking at the distance between artery and the muscles. And we found that after doing surgery without corridor in 23 patients, the complication is similar. There's no significant difference in clinical. Both VAS, ODI, and also complication, especially thigh pain, is not different. The only thing that is different from corridor and without corridor is the cage angulation. So without corridor, you might be more anterior because you can retract vessels more, but you are careful about the retracting the psoas muscle. So the angulation of the cage is significantly different. Here comes our studies. If we change the terminology, the corridor should not be from artery to the edge of this psoas muscle. It should be the fixed structure as a vein and into the lumbar plexus. So we call that the expanded surgical corridor. We looked into 511 MRI of the 4-5, measuring that distance comparing to original corridor. And we found that we can convert from no corridor to be having a corridor up to 97.7%. So from 50% that you cannot do it, if you use terminology expanded corridor, you can widen indication or widen the contraindication for doing surgery using the OLIF approach. These are the case examples with my surgery with no corridor. Other things is in between the corridor is that the great vessels. If, like Dr. Kotani, Prof. Kotani said, if you're using a central corridor for 5-1, that will be fine. But if you are looking at the lateral corridor, a thing that lies in between the lateral corridor, especially 5-1 and 4-5, are the great vessels, which is the ascending lumbar vein and ilolumbar vein. Several studies have shown that there's varies of variation of vessels. You never guess, you never know. But the thing is, there should be two arteries if you want to mobilize the vessels to open up the lateral corridor. One is the ascending lumbar vein, other is lower lumbar vein. When you looked into it, there's three types of them. They can join together, they can be separate, and there can be others. So if you want to make up the corridor for the lateral side, especially 4-5 and 5-1, you should identify these vessels and then ligate it. Other thing that lies in between the corridor is the sympathetic chain. We found that in the MRI of our study, we found that it can be found in the MRI 100%, and it can shift if there's some scoliosis. Patient can have a problem. You have to tell the patient that the leg will be swelling and red because one of my patients has been diagnosed the cellulitis. So in my conclusion is that you can expand our corridor using the edge of the vein and the lumbar plexus. Thank you.